Hola YouTube, my name is Ricardo Lino and I'm a wheel addict. Welcome to Skate Talks number 27. You probably know that I make videos, right? Okay, so as someone who does videos on a daily basis, there's always some people that you look up to. And my guest today is one of those guys. His videos, well, it looks like you're in a cinema, you know? Everything looks so good. Today, my guest is Dom West. I know that he started skating around 96, which was also around the same time when he started filming using his parents' cameras. But let's call Dom and see what he's up to.
Hello.
Hey, yo, how you doing, Dom?
Good, mate. How you going?
I'm good. So, sorry that I took a little bit longer. I'm just having
That's all right, man.
a little bit of a lunch break here.
You got to get my intro right, you know.
Well, I was trying to say something along these lines. Something like, well, if someone is watching these, they probably watched my videos. But as someone who make videos every day, there's some people that you look for that make something somehow special. It's basically we work on the same theme, which is skating a lot, but your things are special. So, and then I was also saying that we kind of started like the same way. We started skating and we used our parents' cameras, but somewhere along the way you became way too good, and that's where we're gonna talk today. So,
Sounds good, man.
how did you got into skating?
Yeah, I mean, I started, I guess, when a lot of other people did, like yourself, in the mid '90s. So, like 1996, I got just a pair of like crappy plastic wheeled kind of inline skates for my birthday. I think because my brother had just gotten some as well. And I think, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of roller discos going on for kids' birthday parties and that kind of stuff. So it was around. So yeah, obviously took an interest in it and got some rec skates. But then within about 3 months, I think me and my brother both just wore through these like shitty plastic wheeled skates, and I got some Roasters FCO Roams, which was kind of like the beginning of trying to do tricks and stuff.
Yeah, it was like the affordable version of the Majestics back then, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the boot's probably not that far off from a Majestic.
It was the
Still
same.
is to this day, I guess. Yeah, it's the same. Maybe it felt more flimsy, but probably the same.
Yeah, probably because it was a higher frame too and all that. But anyway, keep going. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, basically got FCO Roams, then just took out the wheels, got the grind wheels in there and everything, and basically just like the rest of it's kind of a blur, I guess. Just really became obsessed like we all did. But then, at the same time, me and my brother always sort of used my dad's camera just to, I guess we were doing it just to film ourselves, just to see what we were doing and what, not really to show other people, just to kind of, I don't know, look at our own skating and figure out how to get better. And that just kind of went on for a good few years. And then I guess I slowly just got newer cameras. And then, I was still as interested as sort of skating well as I was filming for like a good 15 years. And then it kind of took a bit of my interest in filming kind of grew more than my sort of interest in improving my skating. And then that's kind of what's led me to, where I am today.
Okay. So where are you today? in live as a professional and at the same time in location?
Geographical location, I'm in Sidney, Australia, and I've been here for about 9 years now. I'm originally from the UK, from London in the UK, so that's where I grew up and started skating, and that's where I'm from. Friends and family from London, but ended up just kind of coming to Australia on a bit of a whim, really, after I finished university, and didn't really plan on staying. Just kind of just thought I'd try something different. But then fell in love with the place and the people and the lifestyle, and pretty much been here ever since. Career-wise, I work full-time for a documentary production company based in Sydney. And so, like, I guess, yeah, my main role is as a cinematographer, and then obviously a director as well on some shoots. And then when I'm not out filming, I'll be like doing post production, so editing or just all the other stuff that comes along with the boring stuff on the other side of filming, like post
So
production, grading and sound.
you said that you studied in the UK. Did you study cinema or something related with it, or you just went with it as a passion?
No, I didn't. I basically, so I mean, my filming skills purely come from, I guess, originally come from just filming skating, and then like I was fairly academic at school, so I ended up doing like a physics degree at uni because I was pretty good at maths and science. Like my dad was a maths and science teacher, so I kind of was going down that route. Not really ever that passionate about sort of science and physics, but I guess it was just, I don't know. I figured it was the done thing, go to uni and just do the best thing I can do and get a good job or whatever. So I did end up working for a year as an engineer, which I just really didn't enjoy. My heart wasn't in it, and on the side I had obviously this filming, this passion for filming and editing that I sort of started to realize. Obviously, I could make a bit of money from it, so I started to do bits of freelance work. And then eventually quit the engineering job, but then found this full-time position where I am now, which was like 4 years ago.
And tell me, okay, so that engineering work, was that in Australia or still in the UK?
That was, in Australia, in Sydney. So pretty much, as soon as I finished uni, I was like 21. I was at Bristol Uni in the UK. I finished my degree, and then like pretty much I was like applying for a few jobs and things, but because I didn't really know what I wanted to do, that's why I went to Australia in the first place. And then it was being in Australia and kind of the whole Vine Street thing, like making videos with those guys, really just kind of I guess I developed my passion for filmmaking more and more, and that's just kind of slowly developed in the last 9 years since I've been in Sydney. So that was really like I started to take it more seriously once I was in Australia.
And since then, whatever when it comes to video, it's all just like from self-learning and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, man, pretty much. I guess to start with, it was just through skating, just pretty much filming skating, and then I guess the last 4 years has been probably the steepest kind of learning curve. Like not in necessarily a hard way, but I guess I've learned the most and developed like pretty quickly just because of the people I'm working around. Like my boss is, he's just like a super well-known cinematographer and director in Australia, and I guess, potentially worldwide.
What's his name?
His name's Abraham Joff. I mean, you wouldn't, unless you're sort of really into the documentary side of things, then you might not have heard of him. But in Australia, he's a pretty sort of well-known cinematographer, and he just kind of, gave me a chance, I guess, and I've just learned a hell of a lot from him, and and then I get to just practice that. And when I make skate videos, I just get to use all these skills and ideas that I kind of I've learned at work, and then trying to sort of put them into skate videos as well, which is the fun side.
That's awesome. And it's like, but I have so many doubts and so many things that I need, like so many questions, not doubts, sorry. Tell me, like the type of cameras that you use for the videos that you do, did you at first rent them or they were always yours? You always had your own gear?
Pretty much always had my own gear. Like, let me think. Like, I've never really rented stuff. I mean, I will say one thing, like some of the stuff in the last 4 years, basically, since I've been with this company, it has been stuff that I've used from work, which I guess you could say is rented. But mostly just trying to sort of, just use what I got. And it just so happens nowadays, the camera I've got that I did the Burma one with, for example, it's a tiny camera. It's it's fairly expensive, but it's kind of fairly accessible now, and you can.
What camera is it?
Yeah, you can get amazing quality. It's a GH5, Panasonic GH5.
Oh, it's the same as me. I'm doing something wrong then.
It's kind of figuring out the potential,
No, I'm kidding. And that was one of the things that I was going to ask you right after, which is obviously what you're doing. It's completely different for what I'm doing. I keep on saying the same. Basically, I'm trying to do something which is basically disposable. I try to produce as much content as I can. I want to produce something that people can consistently watch on a daily basis. Someone like you, it's completely on the other side, which I totally agree, respect, and I really think it's needed more than anything. But my question here is, what is your opinion? Because I know that sometimes people have different opinions about this. What is your opinion on someone that puts so much time into something like this, like you put, about what I do, things which are disposable again?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, I see a place for both of them in terms of, like where they fit in with different types of media. But I guess, I mean, look, if I could produce like pieces more often to the standard that I want, I would. It's just, I guess they take so long when you sort of, you labor so long over something. So like, I would love to be producing more pieces, but I guess they take too long. So then on the flip, people like yourself obviously trying to put as much content out there as much as possible. I think I've watched your videos and they're as entertaining as probably stuff that I watch. So it's just a totally different style of video.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky for you to answer that because it's obviously, like I said, so for those listening to these, before I usually start recording these, I make a phone call to my guest where we just kind of like test the sound, but for someone listening to this, they don't know. But obviously the way that I deal with the detail, it's not the same as you, and that's obviously seen in our videos. I know that like some of my friends, even in Cape Town, some of them that work with video like you do, like videographers or whatever, they're all like super, how can I say, meticulous, if you can say that word, to detail.
Meticulous, and I mean, I feel like on the one hand though, I'd say that kind of slows me down so much, like, because I probably take too long on some things, and I'm over meticulous. Because if you were super meticulous on all your videos, like you wouldn't be able to produce as much content.
I know, it's impossible.
So it's like finding the balance, I guess.
And then at the same time, the thing is also, some people do it with skating, and for you, it's actually with your pieces, which is, people are expecting a certain thing to come from you from now on. So you always need to give them that or better, So that's where you put yourself to. So it's also different for that.
No, I agree. And I guess for me as well now, like when I put something out, obviously if it's a skate film, it's primarily for skaters, but also I'm thinking, right, that this is me trying to show other cinematographers, like career-wise, it's me trying to show my best work to, to that kind of industry as well. So I want it to be presented in the best light that I can do it, I guess.
Of course.
Whereas yourself, you're not, you're not trying to make waves in the cinematography industry, for example.
Not at all. But on the other side, because I work in the skating industry, I try to put as much into the skating industry, not really into the filming industry, if that makes sense. It's more like bringing more skate content. It's about the skate content. It's not really about the quality of the video. Sometimes it's just explaining something or bringing some ideas, but it's not really about the videos. It's just a way to bring that content or to bring that idea somehow. Tell me, what lenses, because some people keep asking like what gear you're using. What lenses are you using on your GH5?
So the GH5 I have, first up I have the speed booster that lets you put Canon lenses on there. So instead of using the native Panasonic lenses, because that's, I think, probably one of the things that makes it tricky to use if you're using the normal native lens.
Yeah, I know exactly.
They're just kind of tricky. So I had Canon lenses before, so I bought the adapter, and then I've got what have I got? I've got a 24 to 70. I've got a 70 to 200. So the zoom lenses. I got the 8 to 18 fisheye, and then I have got, what else have I got? I think that's all I've got that I own personally. But then, for example, with the Burma piece, I borrowed some lenses from work. So I think I borrowed a 35mm prime lens just for those super shallow looking shots, and I borrowed a 18 to 80 zoom, it's like a cine zoom lens, which was kind of weird to use because it makes
Like
the camera
power
a bit,
zoom, something like that.
Yeah, it has a power zoom, so you can actually put a power zoom on the mirrorless, DSLR.
And how does it work with this? How does it work with the focus?
It works pretty good with the focus because the autofocus is no good. So you've basically got to either try and pull focus while you're zooming, which is pretty hard, or just kind of stop download so it's all in focus. But yeah, it's not ideal. I thought it would be, because I used to obviously love using the zoom style video cameras. That's what I was brought up on through filming skating, and I still think it is one of the best ways, if not the best way, to film skating, because you always want to have for the fisheye it's great, and then also if someone's come towards you or panning or whatever, you can obviously have like a bit more of a dynamic shot, like by following someone. But yeah, moving on to sort of higher quality pictures means it's harder to get those zooming shots. But I don't know, man. Yeah, it's all just.
And do you use any external recorder, or record everything internally in the camera?
I tried to do quite a bit into a recorder, into one of those Atomos recorders, so it's like a little bit high quality but easier to edit with. But then it became tricky trying to do fisheye into the recorder, because the camera feels a bit weird when it's weighted like that. So I would just film internally. So it's a mixture. Like the Burma piece is a mixture of internal and recorded externally. And to be honest, the difference is not that noticeable.
Yeah.
It's more just the like focusing sort of functionality that is easier with the big screen, and checking your exposure and stuff.
Of course, going a little bit geeky when it comes to filming for
some people. A little bit geeky, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what?
A lot of people have probably switched off by now.
Nah, man, you know what? Sometimes there's people that really want to know about all these things. So we'll see how it goes.
It's true. Okay. You can always put chapter markers and they can skip. It's all good.
Or they can just listen in like 2 times speed.
Yeah, exactly.
Why Burma? That was one of the questions some people did.
Yeah, good question. Why Burma? So there was like a number of factors that sort of that came together. I guess firstly, me and Joe were the ones who first started talking about doing something together, because we made that piece in Sydney probably almost 2 years ago now, a year and a half ago. And after that, I love working together with Joe. I've worked with him on a few different bits, and it's just great fun. It's just a good time. So we immediately started planning something else. And straight away, I kind of just said I didn't want to just go to a city and just film another skate section. I did want to just try and explore something a bit different, just because it gets a bit boring doing the same thing over and over. So we were talking about Asia, because he was doing competitions there. It was easy and cheap for him to get there, and relatively easy and cheap for me to get there, because Australia is pretty far from everywhere else. So we were talking about Asia, but then I just remembered I have a friend who I met like when I first came to Australia, who's from a place a couple of hours north of Sydney called Newcastle, and he basically moved to Burma 6 years ago now. And he hit me up a few times through Facebook, just like when Vine Street, when Chapter 2 came out, and he said, "Oh, hey man, like you should come and check out the scene here. Like we've got something pretty cool going on." And I never really I knew he was out there, but I knew that Burma was like, it's not really a place you go on a skate trip. So I'd never really considered it seriously. I was just like, yeah, I'd like to, man, but I just can't see it happening. So I just had that in the back of my mind, and I don't know, it just came back into my head, and I was like, shit, that's basically exactly what the kind of trip we want to do. And then I just started talking to him. I guess he saw that I was serious about it, and I basically made like a PDF document with kind of like a rough outline and just some pictures, trying to make it look like it was something legit, and just sent it to Gav, and was like, hey man, what do you think of this? And he was just like, yeah man, like sounds like an amazing idea, count me in. And then Gav and Joe pretty much said they'd been hanging out with Heinemann in Asia like earlier that year, and that they got on really well. And I didn't even know Matthew was really sort of skating much still, so I was just like, all right, yeah, let's see if
dude, Matthew is like, I have too many favorite skaters, but Matthew is one of them for
he's
sure.
Up there, yeah.
is
Definitely, man. No, that was a big dream come true, just getting to film with Matthew, because I remember seeing him win the Paris IMYTA in '03. That was probably the first and only time I saw him. I think I saw you there actually as well.
when I was bald. Yes,
I think you were bald, and you were trying to true Mizzou the fat ledges in South
I did it the day before the IMYTA. Yeah, the person I just it's kind of weird. But that was the same time.
That in like Salomons without wide bodies, that's pretty ridiculous.
Shh, don't say the Salomon word, people.
They're long gone. It's fine.
Nah, it's all good. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, Heinemann, I was just like, shit, man, like this could be really cool. I didn't really know what to expect because like I said, I hadn't really seen any skating from him in the last few years, but he came through like a champion, and it was a pleasure to have on the trip, and everyone got along really well, and that's kind of how it all eventuated. But the guy Dave, pretty much Dave Payne, not to be confused with Dave Payne, different spelling.
If someone doesn't know who he is, they need to watch the video then. That's the best way.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, he's an absolute legend, and he just planned this whole trip and took care of everything basically. So it made it really, really easy. I told him kind of what I was hoping for. I was just like, hey man, is there any we want to film the interesting stuff, these unique kind of stories, because he was sending me pictures on Facebook of all sorts, like before I went, like guys with like wooden H blocks in their frames and stuff, and all this crazy shit that I'd never seen. Like we didn't get to see that guy, but that the sort of backyard skate park that Dad was building was kind of like, that was probably the highlight for me.
That was awesome. But even the park that you guys skated, I think it's that green park that Matthew does that hop with his hands.
That's it.
That's amazing.
Matthew Ledoux kind of trick.
Yes. Like the parkour stuff. I don't know what that is, but it's just like that park looks so sick. And who the fuck has that thing in the park? Like a big hole like that.
Yeah, it's a well. So like, I guess it used to be a well that they would get water out of, and then I guess they built the skate park around the well. It's just really random.
It's so sick.
That skate park's actually, it's called Baby World as well. The skate parks over there have the strangest names. I don't know what Baby World has to do with anything, but that's what it's called.
It's Baby World. It's amazing. I would love to. How long did you guys stay there?
So we did a 10-day trip basically. We had like a few days in the capital city where we sort of got most of the street tricks that are in the video, which aren't many, but like
that alley-oop soul from Joe, it's amazing. Down the rail.
Yeah, that's in the capital. Yeah, Yangon. That was literally, I'd say that was at like 1 a.m. the night, like the morning that we were all flying out. Like on the last day, we all flew at like 6 in the morning. But yeah, that was like, it was like, we've got to get more clips. We need more street. So like, yeah, that was like our last.
And then it does that. It's amazing. It's so good.
No, it was pretty sick.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. And any plans for anything to be done anytime soon?
Yeah, I guess one thing we've been working on in Sydney, just with all the guys here, well, just with one guy really, but everyone's been kind of out skating and trying to be involved with the sessions. But yeah, Elliot Stevens from the UK has been living in Sydney for about a year and a half now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we've just been steady kind of filming over the last, I don't know, probably almost about a year now. It's been kind of slow because I've been away and he's been away, and then we've kind of just been kind of lazy, but just taking it easy, enjoying it. He's got a couple of years here, and we've just been slowly making a section and just enjoying it. So hopefully, definitely before the end of the year, that'll be done. But yeah, hopefully in the next 3 months, ideally. I guess we haven't decided yet. Yeah, potentially. I mean,
it's amazing.
If it's of a high enough quality, then yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, I'm excited because he's killing it, and like he's probably the only one right now really, because Sydney's fresh for him and all the spots are fresh, so he's excited to film.
Is he still going like full, like, because there was a time when he was in the UK, like I don't know, like 3-4 years ago, the way he was skating was just like going for it, like whenever. Yeah,
like I remember some of those comps and stuff. Like I remember we brought up that clip the other day where he does like 540 true soul at
yeah, exactly.
Do you remember that?
I do. That's what I
look, he's skating really well and he's doing big shit still, but I haven't seen any 540 True Souls yet, so yeah, you'll have to be the judge of it when you see the section, I guess.
Okay, okay. You can count on me. If it's a VOD, I'll buy that one too. So
nice one.
At least you got one client here.
There you go. Me and Elliot can get a beer. Nice.
You got one beer for now, but I'm sure that you're gonna get more. Tell me, as someone who does what you do for a living, is there anyone that you look in the skating industry that does videos that you really look up for, or there's no one that you really look for?
No, definitely, man. I mean, for me, I'm, in terms of making skate videos, I am genuinely inspired by anyone who's making skate videos, because, like, for me, just knowing that people are out there motivated, like, still making stuff like that just motivates me. But in terms of, like, a technical filming perspective, I would say definitely
top 5. I started this with Scott the other day. Top 5 video makers.
Top 5. Okay.
That's good.
Make it easy. Make it easy or make it hard. Right.
Yeah, the hard part is coming next. The hard part is coming next.
Oh, shit. No, I'm definitely some top 5 I can do, but I don't know about an order, like just that everyone's...
Yeah, everyone top 5, yeah.
Definitely, everything that Ivan does, Ivan Norez. Have you seen?
Yeah, of course.
Like a lot of his film stuff lately. I've used Super 8 like maybe once or twice, but yeah, if I had more time I would definitely be messing with film, or more time and money, I guess, because I think he's got a pretty good kind of connection with a developer that kind of lets him shoot a lot, and unless you have that, it's going to be pretty expensive. So all of Ivan's stuff I love, and I mean his digital stuff as well is amazing. I mean, his videos used to be on repeat. Valo 4, all the Shred to Your Deads, and who else? Carsten and Benjamin. I don't know how you say his surname.
Yeah, I know
Carsten
who you're talking about.
Who did the Cayenne guys?
Mm-hmm. They made Formosa now, which is come out.
Yeah,
soon.
Exactly. Which I need to see ASAP. But yeah, basically those guys. I mean, definitely inspired me a lot. And, obviously traveling and skating is what I'm trying to do as well now with these skate videos. So definitely looking to what those guys are making. And yeah, well, I mean, me and Carsten were chatting just the other day, and he's definitely a big inspiration. Obviously Jonas Hansen is top 5 as well. Just like beautiful work. I think he's working with Eugen at the moment, so looking forward to seeing more from him.
Is he also in California? Because from what I know, I think Eugen just landed in America. Yeah, that's sick.
Maybe we just leaked something that we weren't supposed to leak. I don't know, but
well, it wasn't us. It was One Blade Mag. So I don't know.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. It's out there. AJ, man, Adam Johnson, love all his stuff. And that's number 4, so I got one more, don't I?
Come on, now you need to be super...
Shit. This pressure's on, man. I don't want to miss anyone.
You will, man. You always miss someone. It's just hard.
Shit, no, I missed Sizemore, didn't I? Shit.
No, you got space for Sizemore. For
obvious reasons. Sizemore's definitely in there.
Oh, yeah, his last video was amazing.
Yeah, it's just... His stuff is just... I don't know, you can't really fault it. That style of, it's just the perfect skate video style,
I know.
Everything, the long shots, the fisheyes, the editing, music, the action, the people in it, the length, I don't know. Just
the fill.
He does it very well.
That I spoke with Scott also in the last podcast that I did about the last trick of his video with Dominic Bruce.
I love that with the stomp.
It's not even about the 720 out. It's just when he lands in the water.
It's the come out.
Dude, it made me feel proud.
So good.
That's the thing. Like you feel amazing. Like yes. Okay, now the hard question. What was like the thing that you saw lately? No, let's not just say one. You don't need to put anyone on the spot. But was there some things that you saw lately that you felt, oh no, just like please don't. Something like that. You don't need to put anyone on the line, but is there like a lot of things that you see skating wise that makes you feel like that?
As in Okay, wait. Let me think about this one.
You don't need to put anyone on the line if you don't want to. If you want, like, it doesn't really matter. It's just like, because that, man, I do it. I feel it sometimes, and I'm not even that perfectionist. Like I told you, like sometimes, like I'm gonna go straight to the point. There's like, there's these brand that it's called. I think it's called Micro. Micro makes scooters, and they now, from what I know, yeah, they're not taking part. I don't really know exactly what's happening with Seba. You might know more about Seba than I do because you've been with CJ.
I know a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they kind of like producing some of the skates that were Seba. Now they're producing under their name, and even if they said it's not, but you can see it clearly. And if you watch
the Micro, basically the Micro scooters producing like Saber lookalike skates. Is that what you're saying?
No, basically Micro scooters have been owning the brand Seba since forever. They're the real owners, you know.
Okay. So and that's been like that for a long time, is it?
Since day one, something like that.
No,
so now with Seba, I can't say it's going down. I don't really know exactly what's happening, but I know that now, since like last ISPO, I saw the guy from Micro, and I was asking, and he says they have nothing to do with Seba, but they are Seba. You can see it clearly. So, and now the latest video, you just need to see it. That's all I can tell you. It just, dude, it's like you go from Seba to a. It's going from Seba to a video filmed with a phone, not even have any graphics, but it doesn't make sense that it's on their YouTube channel. See, that's the type of things that sometimes makes us as skaters, like, dude, like there was a brand that worked in their image for so long trying to make something, you know. These guys are kind of not taking over because they're using a different name, but it's just, that's the type of example that I'm saying, like.
Yeah, look, I don't know, man. I can't think of one, to be honest. I mean,
but that's good. That's really good. Like, if you don't have one,
I don't know, man. I do kind of just enjoy pretty much everything that's to do with blading. So, and I don't know. Something like that would probably, I don't know how I'd feel seeing it. Probably. I'll
send you the link after, so you can. Yeah, you can judge.
I know. I remember CJ saying something weird happened at the factory where, like. Don't know. I don't even know who's CJ's skating for, if he's with Saber or what, but what's going on with that. But
it seems that's the weird part that I don't get.
Weird.
I don't understand what's happening.
On Sabers, so.
Yeah, he's skating on Sabers, and he got like a package the other day, something like that. But I don't know what's happening too. So I'm trying to know.
It doesn't sound like I don't know much, so I don't want to say anything and get it wrong. So, but something's happening.
You're playing safe. You're playing safe.
I'm playing it safe, man. This is going to be on YouTube, so you know. It's weird because sometimes you forget you're being recorded, and I'm just like, oh shit, I'm actually going to watch what I say here.
Okay, so now that this is being recorded, who's your favorite skaters to film with? Okay, top 5. We can go top 5 again. Come on.
Number 1, it's tricky because
it doesn't need to be top 1, 2, 3. Just like the 5 guys that you like. If you would need to choose 5 guys now to do like a skate trip, it doesn't matter where. You could go and skate the moon if you want to go like the moon trip. Would with the 5 guys.
It's not as easy as I thought it would be, because some of the guys obviously that I filmed with, who probably I'd like to film with the most, aren't always the easiest people to film with, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense? So, like,
yeah, exactly.
For example, Ryan Arnold is definitely one of the people that, you know, having filmed over the years, is the most kind of what's the word? I don't know. It's just
shocking.
Getting stuff with Ryan is amazing, you know. So, but it's like I wouldn't take him on a skate trip nowadays because I know he's not that
reliable
to skate. So, like. I mean, he's fairly reliable, but I just...
No, when I mean reliable to get the clips, like, on that day, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I love Ryan. Is like...
I mean, he's just not that excited to go out there and do drop rails and get clips, you know?
Yep.
Not even drop rails, but just do anything. So, yeah, like... But Ryan's up there for sure. CJ is up there because he's just always motivated and always will... come home with something in the bag or several clips. So definitely Ryan and CJ. Who else?
That would be fun to see those 2 Australians traveling together, even if it's to the moon.
I mean, they're used to a lot. I mean, if we're putting Australians in there, we'll have to have Gavin there for obvious reasons. And then who else? Oh man, top 5's too hard. Can I do 5 in Australia and then 5?
You can.
All right. Yeah, we'll do Australia
Because we're
first.
closer to the moon in Australia, so it's just
Exactly. I would have Robbie Pitts. For
yes,
sure.
dude.
He's just.
It was like, seriously.
Yeah.
I told him, and I'm telling you, like on that Vine Street 2. My shop I have a little shop that used to be inside a skate park. Now we're not in the skate park anymore. But even like when Vine Street 2 is playing, when Chapter 2 is playing, the section that always stop more people to watch, it's Robbie. And it doesn't need to be just,
there you go.
It doesn't need to be Chapter 2. It can be from any video that it plays. It's either that one or the Dustin Werbeski just skating in the... like on those off-road skates in Canada.
Woods.
It's one of those 2 videos that stop the most people. Other than that, everything, like, I'm not saying it's average, but people don't stop to watch. But those 2, always.
Yeah,
you got one to go.
Okay, so that's 4 in Australia. Oh, man, this is hard. I'm gonna miss someone again.
Come on, bring Matthias Auger. I would love to see Matthias.
That's true. I haven't really filmed with Matthias much because he's in another city. He's in Melbourne. But
yeah, I know.
I mean, he's not. I mean, he's as Aussie as I am, I guess. Like he's, not originally from.
Yeah, I know.
Australia, so he doesn't count.
Okay.
Fuck, my memory's just really bad. I'm just trying to think who's got sections in Chapter 2, and I can't even. What about Vine Street? Wait, who?
You can bring an old school guy.
Man.
You can bring Matt Salerno.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, we go old. Actually, I'd probably bring Scott Crawford.
He's been skating more often, huh?
He's back on it. He's super motivated. He's a legend. So he's in there, and he can skate vert, which none of us can. So
okay, so you got like a good. Tell me something. Are those guys like Tim Ward? I saw something from Tim Ward like 2 years ago, something like that. Are any of those guys ever skating, or do you ever see any of those guys?
Yeah, so it's the same thing again with he's in Melbourne, Tim Ward. There's basically a crew of older guys from Melbourne and then some from Sydney. So the Sydney guys, like I've kept in fairly good contact with. Like Scott still skates on a regular basis. Josh Pincus is still around skating in Sydney. Dion Anthony, no. I have spoken to him, and even for that Chapter 2 kind of older guy section, I was trying to see if he was keen, but he's got like ACL problems. His knee's pretty buggered, so I just don't think he could really skate. Basically, I think he did get a clip when Julio was here for Valo 4. Yeah. I think that was the last time he skated, but then maybe his knees got worse. Salerno was on the scene for a while, but I haven't actually spoke to him in probably 2 years, maybe. Okay. Which is a shame. Need to hit him up. But then Melbourne, you've got Tim Ward, you've got Manuel Billaris, Josh Clark, and I know Josh Clark skates a fair bit.
That's cool.
Tim Ward maybe like once in a year or 2. As far as I know, I might be totally wrong here, but as far as I know, I think Josh Clark kind of still holds it down.
Tom Fry,
but Tom Fry is Sydney based, and he came to the Chapter 2 premiere. Actually, that was kind of cool. But that was the only time I've met him, and we've chatted a few times. But again, I think his knees got issues. But I think he's really good mates with Scott Crawford, and there'll be times when Scott's like, Tom's going to come out, he's going to come out, and then it hasn't quite happened. But I'm still hopeful one day.
Man, me too. I'm waiting to see those clips.
I think Scott was like, yeah, man, if he comes out, like it's no cameras, it's just skating. So I was like, fuck, all right.
I can imagine like those guys. It's like they had that image, it's just like for them to see something, or for people to see something from them. Yeah, I understand it somehow.
I think, I mean, especially, and then obviously being so good, and then not skating for ages, and then I don't know.
You don't want people to see it. I get it. I totally understand.
Especially you don't want people to film your first drop in back on skates. Like I can understand that. So
okay, now let's go for the art question. So you go to like no, you still didn't tell me the top 5 worldwide.
I didn't do international, did I?
No, you didn't.
All right. And I'm obviously just I'd probably have another list of people that I haven't met that I would like to work with, but I'm just doing people that I've obviously who are my friends basically who I
but you already know, not just the skating, but people that you think you would click to do something.
Yeah. Leon Humphreys, number 1. He is
I know, Leon. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You know what I'm talking about. I think most people know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's like it's not just it's the
he's coming.
it would be like the level of skill, and not just that, like the attitude, like the passion towards skating, and just the motivation for everyone else around him. And like Leon, it's just like, so the first time that I've ever went to London, I never met Leon before. From nowhere, somewhere on the internet, I got his email. I emailed him, and he was waiting for me. He didn't knew me. No one knew me. Nothing. It's just he was waiting for me. Just he picked me up and he showed me the locals, the spots, and all that. It was cool. It was just like out of nowhere. And didn't knew me. That's just an example of.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, that guy, I can just. There's not many people I can talk to skating about like in depth or for a long time. I don't know. I can just chat to Leon about skating for ages, and it's always interesting and new shit that I haven't even thought about. So he'd be good for a trip for sure. I'd put in Ollie Short in there.
Yes, please.
Another one of
you know what?
One of the
the other day I got back to South Africa. And while I was in Portugal, my mom just came to me. Hey, you have this wallet here from a friend of yours. So my mom just came to me with Ollie Short's wallet. I never steal the wallet.
Like from years ago.
Yes. So basically, there was this event in Madrid, and I don't know. I think Ollie left the wallet in our van. There was like this group of Portuguese guys, and he was with us a long time. He was a good friend of mine, and then he never really. I asked him like several times to give me the address so I could mail him the wallet, and I've seen him a lot more times after that.
They robbed him basically.
he never wanted it back, and I got his. Yeah, I can
sell that on eBay, man.
No, never. I got his driving license, which is so stupid. Like, I don't know if he's driving.
Still got that.
Yeah, I told him like so many times, please give me your address, let me ship it to you. He never just cared. And like 2 years ago, out of nowhere, there was a weird name. You might have Ollie on Facebook. He created like this weird name Facebook, and he messaged me.
I never saw him on Facebook.
Yeah, see, so he messaged me, and like we were talking a little bit, which I'm not gonna talk here what's happening or not, but we were talking a little bit, and then that was it. And since then, I never knew anything else about Ollie. Like, I love Ollie, man. It's just one of, I don't know how I didn't say Ollie the other day when I said my favorite top skaters of all times, because he is one of my favorite top skaters of all times.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, he's up there for sure. I saw him. When did I see him? I saw him near the start of this year, actually, when I was back in London. But yeah, he's still around, up to his same old tricks, and yeah.
Was he skating? Was he skating?
He did have skates on. Like I think he had some like big wheels cruising around, just getting from A to B, but not like skating properly. Just,
but cruising. It's not about doing tricks, man. That's the last thing that matters.
I mean, he'll always have skates on his feet. Like, it's funny. My brother, who's moved back to London, he just recently bought a house basically on this, like 4 doors down from Ollie's house in London. Mm-hmm. And he says there's been a few times when he's come home from work like late at night or whatever. And, I don't know. He'll just see like Ollie, like, or just he just knows it's Ollie, just a guy just cruising down the high street on blades. So he's still on the blades, man, definitely.
That's amazing, man. Damn it! Yeah. I keep trying to speak with him for so long now. I need to go to London. I need to find him.
Yeah, man.
Okay, down. You got 3 to go.
Give him his driver's license.
I'll sell it. He needs to buy it.
Man, to be honest, I didn't even know he could drive. In fact, I don't. It must have been a provisional. I swear he can't drive. So I don't think he's missing it. All right, number three. Back in London, it's going to have to be Bauer. James Bauer. Do you know James Bauer?
Yes, I do. I know.
I know. Yeah. He's just one of the boys. He lived in Sydney for a while. He's one of the homies.
Okay. You can. I'm not saying anything. I love
I'm
like all the UK guys, but you can.
Richie's coming.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, I need to branch out. Richie Heisler's coming, definitely, because I just haven't seen him in, I don't know, like 5-6 years. And yeah, I mean, we're good friends, and you know, we got to hang out for like a couple of years basically while he was in Sydney, and then obviously he ended up going to Europe and doing the stuff with the Powerhouse. But yeah,
he's in Russia now.
We haven't really worked together, and yeah, he's Russia and Siberia and all that stuff.
Yeah,
But
I've been watching his stuff. Have you been watching those live streams that he's been doing?
I watched a couple of them actually. And I spoke to him the other day because I was just interested about like what he was up to basically, and I can see. I mean, I watched some of them and I was just like, I just watched this for 20 minutes and I didn't even realize you know what I mean? Like it's entertaining stuff.
Yes, and it's important for the kids to know that, you know, what's happening actually.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess that's back to your earlier question, like the difference, you know, appreciating long form kind of stuff that people work on for a year, or this immediate hit, you know, live streams or whatever like this. As long as it's watchable and entertaining, I think it's good.
Mm-hmm. I love what Richie is doing, and I keep saying the same. Richie for so long, he was so meticulous with every single clip that would be out of him. It was like so.
Yeah.
He wanted.
But then you end up putting nothing out, I guess.
Yeah, but he's working according to what he's been saying. Like he has a lot of stuff that is trying to edit them all, and now he's just making all these things. But at the same time, it's good because he puts himself out there, and a lot more people see what he's up to. That is because people sometimes think that some guys don't skate because they don't see things from him, but he skates every day, man. That's his life. So
exactly, and like you get to see more what, you know, these guys are like personality wise, which usually is a good thing, because in a skate video you're just seeing snippets and it's never really that much. But you know, if it's someone like Richie who's, you know, a likable dude, like it's a good thing for people to see what he's like, and you know, people appreciate his skating more, I guess, when you know someone more. So I think it's good.
Awesome.
But I don't think I'll be live streaming anytime soon.
you know that you can even do it with red cameras and shit. Huh?
Yeah, you probably can, man. But this is hard enough trying to do something for YouTube. So
okay,
I'll leave it at this.
Let me go geeky here again with camera shit.
Yeah, let's go
we have the wrong camera for live streaming. So if you ever
you do.
No, we do. We have the GH5.
Okay.
So with the GH5, if you're gonna live stream, there's this like little piece that you can connect to your computer, and you can actually use your main camera for live streaming with every other camera on the market. If you connect your external microphone to the camera, it actually works. With the GH5, there's like a little delay. So it's the only camera in the whole market that does that. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I didn't even know that. But
okay. Now you know.
It sounds a bit tricky.
Anyway, now you going out of... Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we're way off. I got two more.
One more. Come on, you got one.
Bauer. Oh, Richie. Shit. All right. Oh, damn! I don't want to get this one. I'm gonna miss someone otherwise. I'm just. Oh man. It's got to be Joe or Matthew now, but I guess it's gonna have to be Joe.
You go like fully UK, huh?
Yeah, mostly UK and then Richie.
Yeah, it's
I should have done a UK one as well and then done a worldwide one, but I think people will be getting bored of me listing skaters now. So
nah, man, it's all good. It's all good. So tell me, what's your day like on the daily basis? Like you're saying that you're working on a cinema like product. No, I don't even know. You work with
it's tricky, because there's so many different types of work within the film industry, I guess. But yeah, so for me, the daily routine, I guess, changed throughout the year, kind of depending on what's going on. So, for example, at the moment, the company I work for, we're in quite a big like post-production period, I guess you could call it. So I haven't shot anything for like a month or two now. So I'm basically in the office every day, just working on like fine-tuning edits for a couple of new TV series we're working on. So just mainly I'm working with other editors, kind of with them, you know, talking about tweaking certain parts of the edit, making it shorter, and I guess that really fine-tune, meticulous kind of stuff that we talked about that takes ages, but really perfecting the final stages of an edit. So I'm doing a lot of that, and then also going, for example, today and all of last week, I was just going into a sound design studio in Sydney, which we basically use once we've finished our bigger productions. We on the edit, we send it to this sound design studio that then will do the sound professionally. They will add all the sound effects and mix all the music in and compose the music for the films that we've been working on, basically. And at the moment, there's two kind of major documentary series that we're just finishing up. That's why there's so much post-production. And one of them is, it's kind of like, I guess, like a African big cats wildlife series, like a five-part series on the big cats in Kenya, in the Masai Mara. And then the other one is like a travel photography series where we like follow different professional photographers in different kind of exotic locations around the world.
Tell me something.
But yeah.
Do you guys also, being in Australia, because you are just like me, we are in the southern hemisphere. I'm in South Africa, so right now it's winter. Do you
it's
also
chilly, man? It's cold.
Exactly. But do you also have like
the heater on?
Not here at the office, but usually at home I need to at night. But do you guys also have like the filming season, basically, like during the summer the light is better and longer days and all that, and that could that be the reason?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, we don't actually, a lot of the work we do, like a lot of the filming is overseas anyway, so that, I guess, to an extent would be true. I mean, it's a quiet time of year, June, July, because, I don't know, it is winter, and a lot of people are just kind of hunkering down, I guess. But in terms of like the work we do, most of it is overseas. So, and it just kind of goes in waves where we do these massive chunks of filming. So like pretty much all of last year, I was away like 2-3 weeks every month or so, and then back in Sydney for a couple of weeks, and then sort of going back and forth up until about April this year. And so now we've got like this nice break where we're just doing the editing and kind of chilling in Sydney for a bit, and then in August it's kind of the travel starts up again and the filming, and we're starting to go on to more shoots and start collecting for next films.
So my question, I was asking you about this because I wanted to know like how do you find the time for your skating videos? Because do you do them like after work? You work like late nights?
Yeah, it's hard, man. Like it's basically the same as pretty much everyone, I guess, after a lot of night skates, like if you look at chapter 2, I'd say maybe a quarter of it is probably filmed at night, maybe more, maybe less. So a lot of like after work night skates, and then, on the weekends, obviously, and then the editing is really what takes its toll time-wise, because it's just like the Burma thing for the last, man, I don't know. I mean, we filmed the Burma piece in December when I had like a bit of a break at the end of the year. We just had that 10-day trip, and then I think I started editing. I probably started putting stuff on the timeline in January, and then really February I was doing a bit. March had a break in April, then May, June. So it's kind of like and that's like coming home after like a day of editing, and then just going to edit for like another however many hours. So your eyes and your brain feels pretty frazzled, but it is hard. But I don't know. The more I do at work on these other projects, not to do with skating, I guess I get more motivated to work on my own stuff, which is strange because obviously I'm doing amazing stuff at work, but it also just makes me think like, hey, I want to use these skills, and
exactly.
I don't know, you get new ideas, and it keeps the more you work, the more motivated you get, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, like I kind of understand what you're saying, and that's why I'm going to ask you, like, right now, like, obviously when you started, you said that it all started as just skating and you really enjoyed it a lot, and then along the way you started getting a lot into video filming, editing, whatever, which is right now how you live. Do you still do you, like, if you would need to put like 50-50, like if you would need to give a percentage for skating or for video, like would you still say like 50% for video, your passion, and 50% for skating, or what's the balance here?
I know what you mean. What's it shifted to? I'd say it's pretty, I'd say it's 50-50 actually, which is probably a good place to be.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Rather than going one way or the other. I mean, obviously in terms of a career and making a living, I've got to do. Yeah, I can't make that off skating right now, but in terms of enjoyment and satisfaction, kind of outside of that, blading is definitely still on my brain a lot of the time. I mean, I always want to skate more myself. I guess the fact that when I do go skating, most of the time I am filming or I'm working on a project, because I'm so passionate about doing that. Then obviously me doing the actual activity of skating kind of drops off a bit, and then when I do skate, I'm more frustrated because I'm not as good as I used to be, and it's just kind of.
Come on, you still got those true spin top soles really good. I don't know what I saw them the last time.
Probably still got them.
That's amazing. They look good.
I got to do one of them every couple of months just to make sure I still got it. Make sure the ankle still bends that way.
That's good. So the good thing is, like, man, so if you still are like balanced in that, it's amazing, because when you skate, you end up still practicing, which is your main job. But at the same time, when you're at main job, you still get better at something which has to do with your other passion, which is making the skate videos. So it's, in the end, the whole thing puts you in the right spot, if I can say that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it was weird because when as I was going down the whole, doing like physics and engineering and all this stuff, like, I did know in the back of my mind I could probably make money off, like, filmmaking and all that kind of stuff. But I think my main reservation in my head was that if I did that I wouldn't enjoy it as much, because I'd only really done it through skating. And I thought, like, maybe it's going to kill the passion if I do it for a job. That's kind of why I put off doing it for so long. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of been the opposite since I've actually been involved with filmmaking as a career. Like I've just become even more obsessed and motivated to then obviously use those skills.
I guess it's
skating.
Because you were offered the opportunity to choose what you want somehow, it's like I skated for way too long, and suddenly, like when I finished my graduation, like 2006, I wouldn't say I never stopped skating, but somehow
I remember you rode fixed gears for a while. I swear I remember seeing you. That was you? Yeah, I remember seeing stuff of you, and I was like, oh, okay. It didn't seem like you skated much anymore.
I used to every now and then, but I had lots of problems with my ankles, and the reason why I had all those problems is, for me, skating was just like drop rails and stuff like that, and I couldn't I couldn't imagine myself doing I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else. And it took me a while, and then it's like a little bit before I moved to South Africa, and I was still skating, but it was just like every time that I would go out, my feet would swallow and I couldn't really skate. I would get hurt the whole time. And since I moved to South Africa, which is like a few years ago, I started like skating more often. Before that, I was doing demos in Portugal skate park, which I wouldn't get hurt. Yeah. But if I would skate street, I would get hurt. And while I moved to South Africa, I started skating differently and using the big wheels, and it changed my way of looking at skating. And that's why I say it's kind of like I choose to be back at it, but I choose to do it differently, Yeah. And it's kind of like a wiser way to do it. You choose to do this, and I can actually live from it. I can't complain about it. But again, I did it once the way I didn't want to. And I kind of like had the second opportunity, if you can say that, to do it like differently. So now I can't really complain about anything. I'm actually in a really good spot. I love it.
It's awesome, man. Yeah, no, it's great to see you back on the scene and producing all the content and motivating and educating, I guess. Sort of
Thank you.
Kids or whoever's coming into it. But it's funny that because you say that, like, I feel like some skaters would have also gone down your kind of I don't know if you call it path or whatever, in terms of realizing that there's other aspects to skating that you still can do and enjoy as you get older and as you change in your head in terms of like what tricks you want to do. But then I think some other people, they, like I said, with some of those older Aussie guys, maybe they just don't want to skate at all. If you can't skate to the level that you skated at, and you're doing the things you're doing,
I understand and I respect that.
Leave it,
I respect that. But the way that I looked at it, it's different, which is like, well, I can actually do more for skating by not doing like a drop rail or a negative acid on whatever or a gap or whatever. I can do more for skating, because we actually need, as someone who's trying to upskate, we need more people on skates. We don't need people to jump out of a roof. We need kids to know how to skate. We need people to teach them how to skate. We need show them different ways to skate, and that's kind of like what I'm trying to do, you know. But again, I totally respect when someone, like, if you tell me that a guy like Tom Fry that used to be known for doing this and that, not wanting to skate nowadays because he doesn't, he can't. It's normal.
Yeah, that he was an example. To be honest, I don't know if he's if that is the case with him, but I know what you mean. That kind of
I'm using him as I'm obviously not saying, man, I respect all those guys so much. I don't have anything negative to say about any of them. First of all, I never met them, but from what I've seen from all those guys, they did what, if it wasn't those guys, we wouldn't be doing this right now. So I got nothing but respect for all those guys, that's for sure.
Definitely, man. But like you said, just I think, like, people doing big tricks and stuff, like, of course, I enjoy watching that as much as I ever have. But like you said, for people from the outside, I mean, people have talked about this a lot in the past. But in terms of showing skating to someone who maybe hasn't skated before, or a younger, the younger generation, that's not necessarily the most attractive thing to make them want to start skating. It's probably things that look more fun, whether it's like, but the more fun things, like, Wabeski bombing through those tracks, or like,
it's crazy,
that guy who was doing that, going fade down the mine shaft thing, or whatever. More just like cruising.
Dude, Robbie Pitts skating.
Like, that's actually what's Robbie Pitts doing funky stuff. That's what's like more appealing probably to someone. But who knows, man.
Tell me, what skates are you skating right now? When you skate? Right
now, I have some of the VX the VX Ballo.
Yeah.
Are they denims? I don't know. Yeah, those
the black denim one.
Brown highlights.
They look nice.
But I mean, I skated M12s for a good 4 years, maybe. So really enjoyed that boot and that mold. And it's just pretty similar. But I've got some Vems on the way from Loco coming next week. So I've kind of actually, when you've got you've got new skates coming, you just kind of like, just gonna, I don't know, I'm not that excited to skate right now because I know I've got new skates and just kind of want to get them. But I'm interested to see how they fit and how they ride.
And have you ever went the big wheel way, or never even tried skate with big wheels?
Yeah, definitely. I've got some. I had I remember back when the first time I went to the Powerhouse, when Richie was in Barcelona, I guess starting off the whole power blading thing, movement, whatever you call it. He gave me some. This was like 2012. He gave me a pair of 80 mil flat
Kaiser ones,
like early generation. Yeah, the Kaiser ones, and then I think they were Juice Matter wheels, like these fluoro yellow ones.
I know those. Those are fast.
I literally had them. Dude, they're so fast, so bouncy, and they literally lasted me I took them to Burma with me, and I actually left them in Burma to one of the kids, but they were basically still in perfect condition when I took them there. They just never wore down. But so then, since I got rid of them, I got some of the tri-wheel ones this year. I think they are, what are they called? The
Kaiser ones?
They're black. They're Powerslide ones. They're like a full with red accents, and they got 125s, 110s, 3 110s.
Is it the Imperial?
Is it being with the S? No, I don't know.
Swell.
Oh, what
color is it?
I think it's the Swells, maybe. They're all black with red kind of accents.
Yeah, it's the Swells.
I don't know if they're just.
Is it a plastic? Is it a plastic boot or like a shoe?
It's plastic, yeah.
So it's the Imperials.
It's not the super expensive ones, but
the Imperial Mega Cruiser.
Yeah, you're right.
Super Cruiser, whatever.
Yeah, that's the one, and they're pretty cool, man. I mean, it's obviously a bigger wheel than the 80s, but I do miss. I didn't think it would be as obvious of a difference between a 4-wheel down and a 3-wheel down. I don't know, just that whole feeling you get from having 2 wheels in the middle that are touching the ground. I don't know. I thought it was going to be the same. So it is. They're obviously super fast, but it doesn't quite feel as good as skating 4 down.
Yeah, so you get used to it. I know that some people, when they run up steps and stuff, for some people makes a huge difference when they.
Oh yeah, it's danger.
You get used to it. I'm so used to it. I love it actually, because the middle wheel works as a pivot point, makes it like, in my opinion, makes it easier to turn and all that. But it's just something I get used to it.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
good.
I like them though. And I mean, for me, it's like obviously, I cruising A to B is amazing. And sometimes when I go out filming, I will just go out on the bigger wheel skates, because I know if I'm having a day where I'm like, you know what, I'm probably not gonna do any grinds or anything myself. I want it to be as easy as possible when I film. So they're great for filming.
That's awesome. Did you ever got offered to do anything like with gimbals and stuff? Because I know a lot of skaters, at least like in South Africa, there's a few of them that I know that have been traveling worldwide just to film on skates. Like basically they're working like
Doing
big
like,
cinema productions and stuff like that, just filming worldwide.
Yeah. Like I've never sort of been approached by anyone to do like specific jobs, but at my current job, I every year that we do this shoot where we kind of follow it's like a 7-day bike ride sort of through different parts of Australia, like raising money for charity. And they I always take the big wheels, and so like on the start of the day I'll cruise out with all the riders, and then different spots like throughout the day I'll try and find like a nice hill that I can bomb and just cruise down next to them with the gimbal and stuff. And it makes for some amazing shots. And it's pretty fun just being able to do that, get paid to just skate around and use your Steadicam. But yeah, I've seen Connor O'Brien on skates a few times on some big sets, and another guy is there a Polish guy? I don't know his name, but he's always got like a Steadicam.
There's Myron. He's from South Africa. There's this South African guy. His name is Myron. He travels the world, man. He's been shooting like with David Beckham, and like he did like a lot of ads for Adidas and all that stuff. It's all done on skates, and he doesn't even use big wheels. He's skating like 60 millimeters. I don't know how, but he does it.
Yeah, Eons, is it? Eons.
He right now he's skating on this Gods or whatever that is. Like,
there you go. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. I swear there's a Polish guy. Is his name? Yeah, I can't remember, but there's a few people out there, and yeah, it's definitely like my boss totally, like the first time he saw footage like on skates with a gimbal or a Steadicam or whatever, he was like, whoa, this is like
game changer.
You pay big money to get, like, and then he's like, shit, how else can we use this? Let's think of other ways. But it's tricky because a lot of the shoots we do, like they're not in a city, so there's not
off-road.
Smooth concrete. It's like in the bush, so I got to get some off-road skates.
You need some classes from Dustin Rebeski, man.
Yeah, pretty much. I tried the off-roads. I remember back in the day I tried the rollerblade. Is it Coyotes?
Yeah, the Coyotes, like 3150s. Yeah, I remember those.
And my friend in London had them, but they were a bit too small, so I didn't have long on them. But I don't know, I felt like my ankles were a bit in danger, because you think
those things are high, really tall.
Yeah. But I'd like to try the new stuff. I had the big cats as well, but they were shocking. They just didn't even roll. They basically had like anti-rocker wheels.
Yeah, and I had the other ones.
The Roces ones.
Yeah, and I had the Enduro, which was like 390s or something like that. I still have them in Portugal, but they're just bad.
Have you tried like the new ones? I don't know. I've seen a few out there. Like, do they actually work, or are they still pretty dodgy?
I don't
know. Power Slide make a bunch.
No, I do have some of them. Have some of them there. So basically, there's a 150 version, which is a Trinity, which is the different mounting frame, and then there's the 125. In my opinion, the 125s work better because it's a shorter wheelbase. And
okay, so you're not tripping up.
No. So you know what? I was just talking with you about the South African guys that work with gimbals, right? One of the guys just walked in and is right here looking at me, Frank. He's right here looking at me. He also works with gimbals and like, so, but I'm with headphones. He can't really listen to us. Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, what do you got for me next? How are we doing?
I'm just checking. I think we're almost done. Man. We just have one question here, which is, do you like bananas? I don't know why, man. I
like bananas? I do. I definitely enjoy a good banana. I don't eat them much, but if I'm feeling I need some energy, I'll do it.
That's sick, man. I guess we're done, Dom. We just came to an end with a banana question. It's all good.
I don't think you can end it otherwise. Yeah.
It was good. I guess I didn't end up asking you which was the worst 5 guys that you ever filmed, or if you had to go somewhere else, and if there would be 5 guys that you would not want to choose. I didn't ask that.
On that one?
Nah.
Yeah, let's
end it with the bananas. Are we good with the bananas then?
I think we can end it with bananas.
It's all good then. Okay, so
Cool,
it was
man.
nice.
All right, nice to speak to you. Hopefully this was remotely enjoyable to someone out there. And all good, man.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much. I'm pretty sure people will enjoy it, huh? And keep
worries,
doing
man.
what you're doing. We need it for sure.
Likewise, mate. Awesome.
Thank you, man. Cheers.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Nice to see
Cheers.
ya. Bye.
And that was it. Mr. Dom West, straight out of Australia right now. This guy from the UK. It's inspiring for all of you that have one passion that not always have to do with skating, but there's always ways to relate it if you really want to do it. So here's a good example. If you haven't watched his latest video, maybe that's a good opportunity. Just go down the link in the description of this video or podcast if you're listening it. It's called Blading Burma, and it's amazing. Basically, it's 3 of the best skaters in the world together with one of the best filmers in the world that just went to a super remote place in Asia called Burma, and they filmed everything. So if you want a little bit of inspiration for your skating, well, download Blading Burma and enjoy it. And that's it. I hope you guys also enjoyed this skate talk. If you did, do not forget to give me some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if this is the first time that you're listening to. If you've been listening to these and you're subscribing but you're not getting notifications, you can always click on the bell on the side of that notification button, and every time I upload one of these, you'll get notifications. And that's it for today. Just don't forget why we all started skating, because it's fun. Cheers!
Vou viver até quando